We're seeing a noticeable shift in consumer preferences across several sectors. What seems to be driving this change?
It appears to be a combination of factors, including greater awareness of sustainability issues and a growing demand for personalized experiences.
Good morning, world changers, and welcome back to the podcast that dives deep into the habits that shape extraordinary lives. You know, Harold, there's something almost mystical about the morning, isn't there? That quiet window before the world fully wakes up.
Absolutely, John. For many, it's a battle against the snooze button, but for others, it's a sacred canvas, a time to lay the groundwork for a day or even a lifetime of impact. It's where intentions are set and often where greatness begins to brew.
Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the dawn rituals of some of history's most influential figures. We're not just listing what they did, but digging into why they did it and what profound lessons we can extract for our own lives.
Exactly. From ancient philosophers to modern tech titans, from spiritual leaders to athletic legends, their mornings often revealed the hidden architecture of their success. We'll explore how these seemingly simple habits compound into monumental achievements.
So grab your morning beverage of choice, settle in, and let's explore the dawn of greatness.
It's more than just a routine, it's a philosophy, and we're about to explore it.
Architects of the AM, early risers and their disciplines. Let's kick things off with a common thread among many high achievers. The early bird truly does catch the worm, or in this case, the clarity and control of the early morning hours.
Indeed, John, the quiet, undistracted time before the day's demands begin is a recurring theme. It's a period for intentional planning, deep work, and a setting a proactive tone, as studies on early rising productivity suggest.
And we're talking early. Take His Holiness the Dalai Lama. When he's at home in Dharamsala, he wakes at 3 a.m. That's before most of us are even dreaming of our first cup of coffee. His morning begins with a shower, followed by prayers, meditations, and prostrations until 5 a.m. Then a short morning walk, even on a treadmill if it's raining, before breakfast at 5:30 a.m., often listening to BBC World News. He then continues his spiritual practices until 9 a.m., followed by studying Buddhist texts.
What this incredibly early start reveals is the absolute dedication to inner work. For a leader whose influence is so deeply rooted in spiritual guidance and peace, cultivating that internal state is paramount. The external actions and interactions that fill his day flow directly from this meticulously cultivated inner peace. It suggests that for anyone in a demanding role, dedicating significant, uninterrupted time to personal grounding, whether spiritual, reflective, or strategic, before the day's demands hit, can be crucial for maintaining clarity and resilience.
From spiritual leader to a founding father, Benjamin Franklin was another early bird. His routine from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. was packed. He would rise, wash, and address powerful goodness, contrive day's business and take the resolution of the day, prosecute the present study, and breakfast.
Franklin's approach highlights a proactive mindset. He wasn't just waking up, he was actively contriving his day's business and setting a resolution for the day. This isn't about reacting to an inbox, it's about deliberately designing the day and aligning it with personal values and intellectual growth. This kind of early strategic mental mapping likely minimizes decision fatigue later on and ensures energy is directed toward what truly matters.
And then there's Nelson Mandela, a true titan of resilience. He maintained an incredibly disciplined morning routine even during his 18 years of imprisonment on Robben Island. He woke up at 5 a.m. and dedicated an hour to exercise, 45 minutes of stationary running, 100 fingertip push-ups, 200 sit-ups, 50 deep knee bends, and calisthenics. He did this Monday through Thursday.
The context of his imprisonment is key here. This wasn't just about physical fitness. Mandela explicitly stated that exercise dissipates tension, and tension is the enemy of serenity. This reveals a profound connection. Physical discipline directly supported his psychological and emotional resilience, which was absolutely essential for his long fight against apartheid. It transformed a tiny cell into a space of self-mastery. For anyone facing immense pressure, physical activity in the morning can be a powerful anchor for mental and emotional strength.
Shifting gears to the literary world, acclaimed author Haruki Murakami rises at 4 a.m. when he's writing a novel. He dedicates 5 to 6 hours to writing, maintaining this routine daily, without variation. He calls this a form of mesmerism, helping him reach a deeper state of mind.
Murakami's mesmerism points to a fascinating psychological phenomenon. By consistently performing the same sequence of activities, his brain is conditioned to enter a highly focused, uninterrupted state of creative output. This predictability acts like a signal, allowing him to tap into a flow state, where work feels less like a chore and more like an effortless progression. It suggests that for demanding intellectual or creative pursuits, unwavering consistency in a morning ritual can train the brain for optimal performance.
And finally, in this segment, we have Elon Musk, who wakes around 7 a.m. He immediately checks his phone for emergencies, takes a quick shower, and then it's straight to work by 8 a.m., focusing heavily on engineering and design. He often skips breakfast or has a quick omelet.
Musk's routine is a masterclass in hyper-efficiency and immediate impact. Unlike others who prioritize extensive personal rituals, his morning is about rapid transition into high-value work. He credits the, quote, quick shower as one of the most important parts of his morning for mental preparation. This suggests that for some world changers, the ritual is less about self-indulgent calm and more about hyper-efficient activation and immediate problem-solving. It highlights that the best routine isn't universal. It's the one that best serves the individual's unique demands and maximizes their specific form of productivity.
So, Harold, what we're seeing here is a powerful blend of solitude, deep intentionality, and almost an unwavering commitment to consistency, whether it's spiritual practice, strategic planning, physical conditioning, or creative deep work. These individuals carve out non-negotiable time for what truly matters to their mission.
It's fascinating how even the earliest risers, like the Dalai Lama at 3 a.m., dedicate hours to internal work before facing the world. It speaks volumes about where they believe true power originates.
We're seeing a noticeable shift in consumer preferences across several sectors. What seems to be driving this change?
It appears to be a combination of factors, including greater awareness of sustainability issues and a growing demand for personalized experiences.
Beyond the early starts, John, many world changers integrate specific practices to fuel their minds, bodies, and overall well-being. It's a holistic approach to sustained high performance.
Absolutely. It's not just about waking up early, it's about what you do with those hours. Let's delve into how they prioritize physical prowess, mental fortitude, and crucial nourishment.
Exercise is a recurring theme, and it's far more than just staying fit. It's a strategic tool for enhancing cognitive function and managing stress. Obama had a typical wake-up time of 7 a.m. He first did a 45-minute workout 6 days a week, alternating weights and cardio. This was non-debatable, he stated. The rest of my time will be more productive if you give me my workout time. He also took 1-minute walks to the West Wing to gather his thoughts. Analysis: Obama's commitment to exercise was directly linked to his productivity, highlighting its role as a foundational activity that optimizes subsequent mental work. The short walks indicate a micro-habit for mental clarity. Bill Gates' specifics: Gates wakes early, 5 to 6 a.m., and works out for at least an hour every day, whether running, playing tennis, or strength training. He believes physical health is essential for mental well-being and productivity. Analysis: Gates reinforces the link between physical activity and mental and productive capacity. Serena Williams specifics, when training for tournaments, Williams was incredibly disciplined. She woke around 7 or 8 a.m., often due to her daughter Olympia waking up, and dedicated 4 hours, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., to tennis practice on the court, making that time off limits to everyone. When not on the court, her routine included dance classes for cardio. Analysis: Williams' intense morning training demonstrates her commitment to excel at an elite level, treating her physical practice as a non-negotiable work block. Michael Jordan specifics, as an adult, Jordan's intense work ethic included the legendary Breakfast Club, where he and his teammates gathered at his mansion between 5 and 7 a.m. for strength and conditioning workouts. This included upper and lower body exercises, as well as core strengthening. Analysis: Jordan's Breakfast Club illustrates a collective commitment to morning physical rigor for individual performance, team synergy, and competitive edge. Ruth Bader Ginsburg specifics, though not explicitly morning, Justice Ginsburg worked out twice a week with her trainer, Bryant Johnson. Her routine included planks, push-ups, squats, and various strength exercises. She was known for her daily workouts even at 83. Analysis: Ginsburg's consistent, rigorous exercise, even in her later years, highlights the role of physical activity in maintaining mental sharpness and endurance for demanding intellectual work. Ava DuVernay specifics, her mornings begin with a glass of water and a nutritious breakfast, followed by a morning workout, specifically dance, which she enjoys. Analysis: DuVernay's routine emphasizes finding enjoyable physical activities, making exercise a sustainable and integrated part of her morning. Adele specifics, Adele does her weights in the morning, often followed by hiking or boxing in the afternoon, and cardio at night. She found working out helped with her anxiety. Analysis: Adele's multi-session approach, starting with weights in the morning, highlights the psychological benefits of exercise, particularly for mental well-being and stress management.
Beyond the sweat, many world changers dedicate significant morning time to mental exercises, reflection, and strategic thinking.
Obama emphasized carving out time to think, which he found most important for shifting an organization or country. His nightly routine also included reading, writing, and planning, often in the quietest hours. He used his 1-minute walk to work to gather his thoughts. Analysis: Obama's deliberate thinking time underscores the importance of proactive mental engagement and strategic foresight rather than reactive problem solving. Ariana Huffington specifics, wakes before 7 a.m. without an alarm, aiming for 8 hours of sleep. Her routine includes no electronic devices, thoughts of gratitude or intentions, 30 minutes of yoga or exercise bike, and 30 minutes of meditation, sometimes 5 minutes if rushed. She wakes up feeling joyful when well rested. Analysis: Huffington's routine emphasizes disconnecting from technology and prioritizing inner peace and gratitude for a positive start, directly responding to her past burnout from overwork. Alicia Keys specifics, begins her day with meditation for balance and peace, helping maintain clarity. Uses daily affirmations, I forgive myself, to cultivate a positive mindset and boost self-worth. Also engages in journaling to release thoughts and emotions. Analysis: Key's routine is deeply rooted in self-care and emotional regulation, using meditation, affirmations, and journaling to set a positive internal tone. Oprah Winfrey specifics, wakes naturally between 6 o'clock and 6:20 a.m., takes her 5 dogs for a walk, drinks coffee, reads 5 affirmation cards. By 8:30 a.m., meditates and does spiritual exercises. At 9 a.m., works out and has breakfast. Enjoys gardening from 10:30 a.m. until lunch. Analysis: Oprah's morning is a blend of nature, spiritual practice, physical activity, and connection, all contributing to a holistic well-being and positive outlook. Denzel Washington specifics, recommends spending a half an hour every morning in quiet time. Suggests starting with 5 minutes, no lights, feet on the floor, deep breaths, and saying, thank you. Then just be quiet. Analysis: Washington's advice emphasizes the power of stillness and gratitude in the early morning for mental clarity and hearing things, ideas, inner wisdom. And of course, the body needs fuel. What these world changers consume in the morning often reflects their energy demands and health philosophies. Obama joins his family for breakfast after his morning workout. This highlights the importance of family connection and a structured meal after physical exertion. Bill Gates prioritizes mornings for family time, walking or exercise. When he does have breakfast, often skipping it, he prefers an omelet and coffee. Analysis: Gates's flexible approach to breakfast, often skipping it, points to a focus on immediate work over a traditional meal, but when he eats, it's a protein-rich choice. Angelina Jolie begins her day with fresh fruits, grains, nuts, and protein-rich foods. She loves seeds, ancient grains, and fruits for energy, vitamins, and antioxidants. Protein provides essential nutrients and a feeling of fullness. Analysis: Jolie's breakfast emphasizes nutrient density and sustained energy, aligning with her active lifestyle. Celine Dion sticks to her French roots with a petit déjeuner of a cup of espresso and a buttery croissant. Analysis: Dion's breakfast is a simpler, more indulgent start, perhaps reflecting a balance with her high-energy performances. Beyoncé, on Sundays, her morning routine includes a leisurely brunch with her family from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Analysis: Beyoncé prioritizes family bonding through a relaxed, shared meal, emphasizing connection over immediate work. Christina Aguilera focuses on a balanced diet with vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. Instead of processed foods, she opts for healthier snacks like nuts, fruits, or yogurt. She also prioritizes hydration and mindful eating. Analysis: Aguilera's approach to morning nourishment is highly intentional, focusing on whole foods, hydration, and mindful consumption for sustained energy and overall health. What emerges from these examples is a powerful understanding. The mind, body, and spirit are not separate entities. They are deeply interconnected, and world changers understand that fueling one supports the others.
It's a symbiotic relationship. Physical activity primes the brain, mental practices clarify purpose, and proper nourishment provides the sustained energy needed for impact.
Howard, we've seen what these world changers do, but now let's get into the why. What does the science tell us about the profound benefits of these morning habits?
This is where it gets really interesting, John. Research consistently validates what these influential figures have intuitively practiced for generations.
Stress reduction: a well-crafted morning routine significantly reduces stress by allowing a calm and focused start, avoiding decision fatigue in the first hour. This proactive approach helps in managing life stresses. Enhanced mental clarity and focus: morning meditation, journaling, or quiet reflection clears mental clutter, improves focus, and primes the brain for heightened concentration. It trains the mind to stay present, enhancing decision-making and problem-solving. Increased productivity: morning routines set a positive tone, allowing individuals to control their schedules rather than being controlled by them. Early risers in particular report higher positive emotions and a sense of control, boosting productivity. Improved confidence and sense of control: when individuals are calm, collected, and accomplish more through better time management, they naturally feel more confident and in control of their lives. Hydration first: the body is naturally dehydrated after 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Drinking water first can jumpstart metabolism by up to 30%, rehydrate the brain, which is 75% water, support digestion, and flush toxins. Movement and endorphin release: even 5 to 10 minutes of morning movement releases endorphins, boosting mood and mental clarity. It improves circulation, oxygen delivery to the brain, reduces inflammation, and helps regulate appetite hormones. Exercise also increases serotonin and norepinephrine, enhancing the body's ability to deal with stressors and creating a post-workout feeling of bliss. Cortisol regulation and brain activity: the early hours see a natural peak in cortisol, the stress hormone, providing an energy burst. Early morning light exposure triggers serotonin production, linked to mood regulation. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, is more active in the morning.
We're seeing a noticeable shift in consumer preferences across several sectors. What seems to be driving this change?
It appears to be a combination of factors, including greater awareness of sustainability issues and a growing demand for personalized experiences.
While we've seen many early risers, it's important to acknowledge that not every world changer follows the same strict pre-dawn regimen. The power isn't in a one-size-fits-all approach, but the underlying principles.
That's a crucial point, Hallard. It's about finding what works for your peak performance, rather than rigidly copying someone else's schedule. Let's look at some diverse paths.
Jeff Bezos, The Art of Puttering.
Specifics: Bezos wakes naturally around 6:30 a.m. without an alarm. He embraces puttering, casual coffee sipping, reading the newspaper, and having breakfast with his family, all without touching his phone. He schedules his most challenging meetings at 10 a.m. when his brain power is at its peak. Analysis: Bezos's do-nothing philosophy in the mornings emphasizes a relaxed, screen-free start for mental clarity and high-quality decision-making later. This contrasts with Musk's immediate work dive. Understanding: the strategic value of a slow start for high-stakes decision-making. Chain of thought: Bezos deliberately avoids immediate work and phone use, opting for puttering and family time. He states this leisurely start helps improve his decision-making. This suggests that for roles requiring complex, high-stakes decisions, a period of mental decompression and connection before engaging with problems can lead to superior cognitive performance, rather than rushing into reactivity. It's a different form of preparation. Maya Angelou, the dedicated writing sanctuary. Specifics: woke around 5:30 a.m., had coffee with her husband by 6 a.m. By 7 a.m., she'd go to a rented hotel room, a tiny, mean room with just a bed, dictionary, Bible, cards, and sherry, and work until 2 p.m. If work was bad, she'd leave by 12:30 p.m. If good, she'd stay longer. Analysis: Angela's routine highlights creating a dedicated, distraction-free environment and a flexible but disciplined approach to creative work, prioritizing output over hours. Understanding: the power of the sacred space for creative output. Chain of thought: Angela's choice to work in an anonymous hotel room away from her pretty home reveals a deep understanding of her creative needs. The tiny, mean room with minimal distractions and specific tools, a dictionary, a Bible, created a psychological boundary between her personal life and her intense writing. This suggests that establishing a dedicated, almost austere sanctuary can be more effective than simply scheduling time for profound, creative, or intellectual work, as it signals to the brain that this space is solely for focused production. Angela Davis, spiritual and physical activation. Specifics: wakes super early, spends first moments in prayer and quiet reflection, kisses her children, helps them with outfits, then heads out to teach a couple morning classes at SoulCycle. Analysis: Davis's morning blends spiritual gratitude, family connection, and high-energy physical activity, setting a positive and invigorating tone. Understanding: holistic activation, integrating spirit, family, and body. Chain of thought: Davis's routine is a powerful example of integrating multiple dimensions of well-being into the very start of her day. The sequence of prayer, family connection, and then high-energy physical teaching suggests a layered approach to activation. The spiritual grounding provides peace, family connection offers emotional fulfillment, and teaching SoulCycle provides physical and energetic release. This holistic activation prepares her for the day's demands by addressing multiple needs simultaneously. Albert Einstein, the late morning thinker. Specifics: started his day with breakfast and reading the newspaper from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., fried eggs, mushrooms, coffee, or tea. Afterwards, he would walk to his office at Princeton. He also prioritized 10 hours of sleep and regular naps. Analysis: Einstein's later start, leisurely breakfast, and emphasis on rest challenge the early bird stereotype, suggesting that optimal cognitive function can be achieved through different rhythms, prioritizing adequate sleep and a calm transition. Understanding: optimal performance through personalized chronotype and rest. Chain of thought: Einstein's 9 a.m. breakfast and 10 hours of sleep directly contradict the early rising theme. This highlights that individual chronotype, whether one is a morning lark or a night owl, and sufficient rest are paramount. Forcing an early start on a natural night owl can be counterproductive. Einstein's routine suggests that maximizing one's natural peak hours and prioritizing deep rest, including naps, can be more effective than adhering to a universal early bird rule for sustained intellectual output. Billie Eilish and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the night owls. Specifics: Billie Eilish wakes at 10 a.m., has breakfast, then goes to the studio to sing. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a night owl who hates going to bed early, with an ideal bedtime of 11:30 p.m. or midnight. She checks her phone late at night for news developments. Analysis. These examples demonstrate that success isn't solely tied to early rising. For some, peak creativity or responsiveness occurs later in the day or night, and their mornings adapt accordingly. Understanding the spectrum of peak productivity, honoring individual rhythms. Chain of thought. The examples of Eilish and Ocasio-Cortez directly challenge the notion that all world changers are early risers. Eilish's 10 a.m. wake-up and immediate engagement with her creative work, singing, and Ocasio-Cortez's night owl tendencies suggest that peak productivity can occur at different times for different individuals. The key is to identify and honor one's own power hours, rather than forcing a routine that conflicts with one's natural circadian rhythm. This emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and customization in routine design.
It's fascinating, Hallard, how varied these routines are. From Bezos's slow, connected start to Angelo's monastic writing space, and even Einstein's later mornings. The common thread isn't the time on the clock, but the intentionality of that time.
Precisely. The underlying principle is that these individuals consciously design their mornings to serve their unique goals and energy patterns. Whether for deep thought, creative flow, physical conditioning, or family connection, the morning is a protected, purposeful space. It's about personalizing the blueprint for impact.
It's fascinating, Hallard, how varied these routines are. From Bezos's slow, connected start to Angelo's monastic writing space, and even Einstein's later mornings. The common thread isn't the time on the clock, but the intentionality of that time.
The morning is truly a microcosm of our lives. How we approach it can set the tone for everything that follows. By intentionally crafting those first few hours, we don't just change our day, we begin to change our world, one disciplined, purposeful morning at a time. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the morning routines of world changers. We hope this episode inspires you to seize your dawn. Until next time, keep shaping your mornings and changing your world. Do not forget to subscribe our channel, Pod We Cast. And please like our video.